Hi, I'm Amy Haskins, and I recently finished my master's degree through Trevecca's MAT program. Early on in your program, you have to decide whether or not you're going to go the job embedded route or the student teaching route. And for most people, job embedded is the only way you're able to do it. You have to get to work. And that's fine. But I wanted to speak to those of you who have the opportunity to go the student teaching route. I wanted to give you the pitch, the elevator pitch for going the student teacher route. I had the opportunity to do that, and there were several things. The first thing that came to my mind and what really flipped that decision for me was not wanting to do my EdTPA while I was the teacher of record. And it was real. As you know, EdTPA is real and it's big and it consumes you. And it was really sweet to be able to kind of go in, teach my lessons, and then take a seat and process what I needed to process. And then we had a break, some kind of spring break or something over that period, and I was able to just work exclusively on my EdTPA. I wasn't thinking about grades or getting in some lesson plans or thinking about my observation that's coming up, which when you're a teacher, all those things still happen. They're not pausing those things so that you can continue doing your EdTPA. So, and I saw some really good results from that. So that's the first huge pitch, that you are able to kind of really focus on your EdTPA and do a great job of that. And I found that follows into at least Metro, and actually I know other counties do it as well, that they have a portfolio program essentially where it's very similar to EdTPA. So it'll kind of prep you for that as well. But as a teacher, the MAT program can equip you, it does equip you to be an excellent classroom instructor with a diverse group of kids. But what it can't teach you, and what they told me over and over and over again, the answers to my questions were, yeah, you'll just have to get in there and see how that goes when you get there. It is that day-to-day grind. How do you get into the classroom, deal with that kid that's having a hard time at home? How do you handle all those things? The kids come in with all of this baggage. How do you educate them and nurture them and care for them? And what I found with student teaching is that I was able to see how an experienced teacher took on that day-to-day. So one of the things I noticed is that they could actually see behavioral problems coming from miles away. And so they would actually see that student coming in with looking a certain way, or having that demeanor, or fidgeting in a certain way, and they could tell, okay, we're on that path. And so they would begin to respond to that child immediately. And I got to see how they were able to turn that student back and get him back to work. One in particular I'm thinking about, it took several weeks of kind of pushing and allowing, but that student grew and came back and was ready to work. So I wouldn't trade that day-to-day classroom experience where you're not only just seeing that teacher on her best day or a couple of good days, you're getting to see the day in, day out grind that it is and how that teacher works through it. Those teachers were also, I was able to have two student teaching teachers over me, and I really appreciated how they both kind of came at things differently, and I learned a lot from both of them. The other thing is that, like, professional dynamics, I got to learn a lot about. One of them pulled me aside and said, hey, I'm going to show you, I need you to go to this meeting, but I want to show you what we're deciding there. We're deciding how we get our raises. And so let me show you how that works. And she just walked through it with me. She said, nobody walked through this with me. I had no idea when I got into this, and I want you to see it. So those moments are really cool, stuff you don't often get in a professional setting. And then finally, I wanted to share with you one last little piece that was super interesting. When I came through my MAT program, you kind of develop curriculums, and you're just deciding like whatever grade. And so I kept seeing one particular grade. Now I sort of narrowed my focus down to almost one grade is all I was willing to do. And then my student teaching experience put me in a grade I wouldn't really choose, and another grade I wouldn't really choose. And what was interesting is that I saw that I was capable of doing all of that, and it just opened up my mind to what I was able to do, what I was trained to do. I was a teacher, and I was capable of working all the way at the lowest end of what I'm trained to do and also at the higher end of what I'm trained to do. So that's another reason. It kind of gives you an opportunity to test it out. You get to see a lot of grades too. Since I was able to work in 2, I was also able to observe all the other grades for at least a day. So it was really cool to see, oh yeah, this is all basically the same thing, just a different flavor. That's my elevator pitch for student teaching while you're in the MAT program. Best of luck to all of you, and God bless.